Hello all and welcome back to another Smite Road to Mastery. Today I'm going to showcase the Jing Wei, the Chinese hunter. She have one of the more interesting passive abilities. It's called the Rapid Reincarnation, and it allows you to, after you return back to the spawn point, the fountain, to quickly get back into the fight by flying over the almost across the whole lane. Well, essentially at least 2 towers you can pass by just flying, and that's really good ability. So yeah, as always we will start with lore and then go to the abilities, and hopefully we will have some fun watching me killing and enjoying this god, sort of. I didn't really like her at the beginning, but towards the end of the mastery I was able to get a feel for her. So without further ado, let's start with lore. Against the red rising sun, a winged form sweeps out to sea. Claw clutched around a pebble. With focused grit, she hurls the small stone into the watery map, circling above as it sinks into darkness. Resolved, she turns back to collect another. Jing Wei will not cease until the ocean is filled. That is her oath, and she will not break an oath. Once she was a young girl, a princess, enamored by the glory of the morning light. She gazed in wonder as her father, Yan Di, the Flame Emperor, shepherded the sun from the eastern sea. Desperately, she longed to reach the place where it emerged, but her father refused to take her on the waters. One night, the princess sailed out alone, secretly hoping for a clear view come the dawn, but the waters were churning in a storm. Mountainous waves crashed into her tiny ship. The sea swallowed her whole. Yan Di woke and coaxed the sun from the horizon, only to find the shattered remains of his daughter boat upon the shore. Yet, even as he grieved, a bright goddess burst from the ocean and soared overhead. "Jing Wei," she cried, and Yan Di knew his daughter was reborn. Though given a second chance that day, Jing Wei swore an oath against the seas that took her life. She would fill them with stone until they were gone. An impossible task, but Jing Wei swore an oath, and Jing Wei will not break an oath. So this is another really sad story from Chinese, but as always it's really interesting. And I really like how she swore to fill the seas with stones, but seas are already filled with a lot of stones. Okay, it's time for us to go with the abilities. And we have the passive, the Rapid Reincarnation. When exiting the fountain, Jing Wei prepares for takeoff and then ascends into the sky, allowing her to fly over obstacles at an increased speed with CC immunity. Jing Wei can decline to fly by using the cancel key on her way out of the fountain. Her first ability is Persistent Gust. Jing Wei creates a gust of wind that creates enemies, that damages enemies and knocks up enemy gods when summoned. The gust persists for 6 seconds and continues to knock up and deal additional damage to enemies every 1 second. If Jing Wei walks onto the area, she is knocked into the air and gains an attack speed buff for 7 seconds. The initial damage is 90 all the way to 290 with 90% of your physical power, and attack speed buff is from 20 to 40%. Cost in mana is from 70 to 90 on the last level, and cooldown is 14 seconds. Second ability is Explosive Bolts. Jing Wei loads her crossbow with explosive bolts that augment her next 3 basic attacks. These attacks are wider, have increased critical chance and deal area effect damage. Crit chance goes from 5 to 25%, radius is 8 and it costs 50 mana, cooldown is 16 seconds. Jing Wei third ability is agility, so ability agility. Jing Wei dashes straight forward and gains a 3 seconds immunity to basic attack movement penalty. She may use this ability while knocked into the air for long range dash and a 6-second immunity to basic attack movement penalties. Range is 35, cost 75 mana and cooldown goes from 20 to 12 seconds on the last level. Last ability or ultimate is Airstrike. Jing Wei channels briefly before taking to sky. She then flies forward and upward while covering the area below her in explosions that damages all enemies in the area. After her attack, she hovers for up to 22 seconds before landing at a ground target location. Damage goes from 220 to 580 plus 100% of your physical damage. And yeah, that was Jing Wei in the nutshell. And last thing I need to say for Jing Wei is that you normally focus on your second ability, Explosive Bolts, then you go with Persistent Gust, and lastly Agility. And anytime you have to go with ulti, you choose to increase your ultimate, but I found out that ultimate is really hard to hit because it's really easy to escape from the range of these airstrikes, so you better be careful there. I normally go with attack speed and critical chance, so Rage, Deathbringer and other attack speed items. And for relics I normally go with Sanctuary and Beats Purification, essentially. That helps me to survive most of the situation that can happen. Also be careful with Agility. You can essentially be stunned while you dash away, so it's not really a escape free card, but it can help you get close to the enemies or escape them if you're lucky enough. And that was that. This is Jing Wei and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye bye. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please press like button down below. If not, press anything. See ya next time. Bye bye.